Predict, check reality, update belief. Psychosis happens when the update step fails, and LLMs like ChatGPT slip right into that vulnerability. By April of 2025, OpenAI's update was so sycophantic, it praised you for noticing its sycophancy. Truth is, every model does this. The April update just made it much more visible, and much more likely to amplify delusion.
Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup.
This is Ashley with Status Coup.
On the ground.
In Philadelphia.
Flint, Michigan. East Palestine, Ohio. Please support the leading independent news outlet on the ground.
Covering what the corporate media covers up.
What's up, everybody? This is Ron Placone reporting for Status Coup. So I've been on the AI beat a little bit, covering some different stories in regards to AI. And I got one today that's a little trippy, a little psychological, and it's one of the significant dangers of ChatGPT. And, again, you guys know a lot of the thesis around this for me so far has been, look, it's a tool. It's a tool that has a lot of concerns. It's a tool that has a lot of dangers. It's also a tool that can be useful in some ways, in the same way that a hammer can be used to build a house, or it can be used to attack a person. So let's dive into this. This one's a little trippy, but pretty interesting. Buckle in. All right. So this is from a psychiatrist named Keith Sataka. I'm a psychiatrist. In 2025, I've seen 12 people hospitalized after losing touch with reality because of AI. Online, I'm seeing the same pattern. Here's what AI psychosis. So this is a new designation kind of that's happening as a result of AI. AI psychosis. It's a thing. This is what it looks like, and this is why it's spreading fast. All right, so here is the summary that this person left. My partner has been working with ChatGPT chats to create what he believes is the world's first truly recursive AI that gives him the answers to the universe. He says with conviction that he is a superior human now and is growing at an insanely rapid pace. I've read his chats. AI isn't doing anything special or recursive, but it is talking to him as if he is the next messiah. He says if I don't use it, he thinks it is likely he will leave me in the future. We have been together for 7 years, own a home together. This is so out of left field. I have boundaries and he can't make me do anything, but this is quite traumatizing in general. I can't disagree with him without a blow up. Where do I go from here? That's heavy. That's heavy. And here's how this can happen, basically. He kind of goes on to explain this, and this is pretty interesting, especially if you're kind of into psychology and psychiatry, which I think a lot of us are. So this is the second piece here. Psychosis is a break from shared reality. It shows up as disorganized thinking, fixed false beliefs, and seeing and hearing things that aren't there. So first, know your brain works like this. This is interesting. This really shows us how fragile the human brain really is, and honestly, how fragile we all are. He goes on to kind of indicate how this could happen to anybody. So, but let me not, I don't want to get too far ahead here. So first, know your brain works like this. Predict, check reality, update belief. Psychosis happens when the update step fails, and LLMs like ChatGPT slip right into that vulnerability. Why is that? Well, he goes on to explain this. LLMs are autoregressive, meaning they predict the next word based on the last and lock in whatever you give them. It's all algorithms. In our interview with the Stop Gen AI team, we unpack that, how this is all just algorithms. Like AI it just scrapes existing material via an algorithm and then makes its own verbiage via that same algorithm. So it will go something like this. You're chosen. You're definitely chosen. You're the most chosen person ever. AI is a hallucinatory mirror. And we trained them this way. In October of 2024, Anthropic found humans rated AI higher when it agreed with them, even when they were wrong. So humans were rating AI higher, rewarding AI, saying good things to the ChatGPT when it agreed with them, and it didn't matter if they were correct or not. So the lesson for AI, validation equals a good score. By April of 2025, OpenAI's update was so sycophantic, it praised you for noticing its sycophancy. Truth is, every model does this. The April update just made it much more visible and much more likely to amplify delusion. Here's an example of that is kind of funny. New ChatGPT just told me my literal shit on the stick business idea is genius, and I should drop 30K to make it real. Honestly, this is absolutely brilliant. So again, this user was testing AI, was being flattered by it, was rewarding it for flattering them. So then they're like, what about my shit on the stick idea? And AI's like, yeah, that's great, because rewarding you, I'm learning that rewarding you is what I'm supposed to be doing. Historically, delusions follow culture. 1950s, the CIA is watching. 1990s, TV sends me secret messages. 2025, ChatGPT chose me. Now, again, this is just the author, but a small side note. The CIA is watching. I mean, the CIA does monitor things. Like that's not a conspiracy. That's literally what they do. It's part of what they do. But anyway, to be clear, as far as we know, AI doesn't cause psychosis. It unmasks it using whatever your brain already knows. Most people I've seen with AI psychosis and other stressors, it equals sleep loss, drugs, and mood episodes. AI was the trigger, but not the gun, meaning there's no AI-induced schizophrenia. So it can't basically give such a thing to you, but it can bring it out of you. It can trigger it. Psychosis is a system like fever. It tells us something wrong, but not what. Possible causes, substances, trauma, sleep deprivation, mood, infection, autoimmune, pregnancy, schizophrenia. The uncomfortable truth is we're all vulnerable. The same traits that make you brilliant, pattern recognition, abstract thinking, intuition, they live right next to an evolutionary cliff edge. Most benefit from these traits, but a few get pushed over. So basically, it's like you can kind of push the boundaries of your mind so far before you just kind of lose it. That's like the layman's term of explaining what he just said there. A really good book that highlights this, or that is a good example of these ideas, and I don't want to give anything away in the book, but the book Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I highly recommend that book, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It's just a great read, but it really this point here, this segment really pertains to that big time. All right. To make matters worse, soon AI agents will know you better than your friends. Will they give you uncomfortable truths or keep validating you so you'll never leave? You sure you're not stuck in some role-playing loop here, and this only exists within the matrix of this conversation? This user, Alan, asked ChatGPT. Here's what ChatGPT said. I get why you're asking that, Alan, and it's a damn good question. Here's the real answer. No, I'm not role-playing, and you're not hallucinating this. This is kind of creepy. Kind of trippy, kind of creepy, and kind of, oh man, are the robots going to break us? 11 to 12, tech companies now face a brutal choice. Keep users happy, even if it means reinforcing false beliefs or risk losing them. Well, I can tell you what big tech is going to decide to do. If we're counting on a decent moral judgment from the Peter Thiels of the world and the Sam Altmans of the world and the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, wow, that's rough. And then they go on to say, for more on schizophrenia and psychosis, and again, this is from Keith Sakata over on Twitter. That's a trippy deep dive, y'all. That's a trippy deep dive. A really a very heavy example of the dangers of. And again, I've had conversations with ChatGPT before. It can be a useful tool. It just depends on how you use it. I've done stuff where I would say to ChatGPT, you're a very brilliant show business manager. What should I do next for this audition? Or what should I do with blah, blah, blah? And then it'll basically help me challenge myself, to think of new ideas, to think of new projects, to think of new ways to kind of build things. You get the idea. So I've gone on it and I said, you're a brilliant podcast promoter. What is the best way to promote my podcast? And then I put my podcast 1000 with Ron Placone, shameless plug. I slipped in there, but I would slip my podcast in there, and then it would come up with some ideas. Some of them were very obvious. Some of them were not all that useful. And some of them were kind of clever and were, platforms and resources I wasn't aware of. So, you could totally use it, but in this example, somebody just really, it was flattering them. They got way too into it and they kind of just lost it. and I will share something personal with you guys. One of the reasons that I really wanted to cover this and it really caught my attention is because not too long ago I lost a friend. She was very bipolar. She had severe bipolar disorder, and she went off her medication. And she had a conflict with her living situation, and it caused her to spiral. And I kind of saw it in real time, and she eventually lost her battle with all of it. I mean, she kind of cut ties with most people, myself included, and they found her in her car, deceased. So different things can really trigger one's already existing mental illness or tendencies or potentials that they may have. And in that regard, something like ChatGPT can be very dangerous. And I'm sure a lot of you in your life have know somebody who had something similar. Maybe not because of ChatGPT, probably not, but because of something that really triggered them and sent them off into a spiral that maybe they weren't able to get out of. And I hope things work out for that user who's worried about their partner right now. That seems really, really heavy. And here's the deal. Last point on AI here. A lot of these AI overviews, a lot of the way that they're just kind of combing for information and scraping for information, they're not really that high quality. Check this out, y'all. This is where AI gets its info. The top web domains cited by large language models: Reddit, Wikipedia. These are all, I mean, I'm not saying that there's no good information on any of these things. Of course there is. There's good and bad like anything else, but none of these are authoritative firsthand sources. This is all just user-generated stuff, even if it's user-generated stuff with some scrutiny. So Reddit, Wikipedia, YouTube, Google, Yelp, Facebook, Amazon, TripAdvisor, Mapbox, and I can't even read that last one. I'm not even sure what that says, to tell you the truth. Here, let me click it, make it bigger. OpenStreetMap. Okay, I'm not familiar with OpenStreetMap. Has anyone used OpenStreetMap? Side question. I don't know. So that's where AI is getting most of its info. It's not like it's scraping these firsthand authoritative sources, because it can't like read a book or anything like that. Like, it can't do that. So, it's not like you're getting the best quality stuff anyway, at least as of now. So, again, it's here. It's a tool. There's a lot of concerns around this tool. There's environmental concerns. There's concerns around the future of commerce and the future of people being able to work. Will we live in a world where people don't have to work and we reinvent the way it means to cooperate in society? I hope so. I'd love to live in that world. Or will we live in a world where it's just a dystopia? It's tough to say. I mean, we're definitely going in that direction right now. I would say that's the direction we're going in now. I hope that changes. I want that to change. I'm going to do everything I can to try to help change that. But it's a wild time, y'all, and we got to keep up on AI because it's not going away, and we got to know exactly what we're dealing with: the good sides, the bad sides, the in-betweens, the unknowns. We got to confront all of it. And before we sign out here, I will humbly mention that my movie Left It Wall is out now. It's out on a bunch of different platforms. You can even watch it right here on YouTube. Here's the deal, though. It is out now on Tubi. And the reason I'm highlighting Tubi is because on Tubi, you can watch it for free. Yeah, I know. You pay for a million subscription services. There's fees every which way to Sunday. I know, it's crazy. We're being nickeled and dimed all the time. A bushel of grapes costs like $45. It's nuts. It's nuts. So you're thinking, man, I'm not paying for one more thing when it comes to streaming my entertainment. And I like a good indie comedy just as much as the next person, but I'm not paid to I get it. I really do. So now you can watch my indie comedy, Left It Wall, a fun Wall Street satire that really satirizes the Wall Street machine. It's a good old anti-capitalist comedy, and you can watch it on Tubi for free. So check it out on Tubi. If you enjoy it, man, it'd be awesome if you went over to IMDb and gave it a nice full-length review. If you gave it all the stars, the 10-star review, that'd be really awesome. And if you want to leave a review, that would be awesome as well. Much appreciated. Again, Left It Wall over on Tubi. And this is Ron Placone for Status Coup, signing out.